Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Bud Light. Bud Light is getting brutally mocked online for every ad they put out. There isn't a thing that they can put online, whether it's a commercial or a tweet, whatever they do, they get attacked by people. And it's going to be this way probably for the next several years because Brendan Whitworth, CEO of Bud Light, refuses to apologize to his customers. If he did, it would take some of the heat off of this. That's what we've all been saying, and that's what Anson Frerichs says, former president of Anheuser-Busch's distribution, who knows Brendan Whitworth well. Brendan Whitworth actually gave him 2 promotions. He knows the guy. He knows the business. He knows the situation. But Anheuser-Busch and the Bud Light people refuse to back down and admit their mistake. So now they get the mockery. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, so if you can subscribe, please do subscribe. Coming from the Daily Mail, quote, I don't understand how this appeals to Bud Light's target market of transgender youth. Embattled brand is mocked again for its desperate ad featuring masculine grunts from Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce. Despite Bud Light's expectations, their new ad featuring Kansas City Chiefs star from the NFL, Travis Kelce, failed to salvage their reputation. Instead, it savaged their reputation in the aftermath of the Dylan Mulvaney controversy. As sales continue to plunge, Bud Light released a 15-second commercial on Sunday showing Kelce cracking open a can of Bud Light beer and aggressively grunting with several other men. The sales have been down. The sales were just reported by Bump Williams for the week ended June 24th, down 31.3%. That's a new high for volumes of bottles and cans shipped, down compared to the year before prior period. This is also why over 645 people have lost their jobs at 2 glass bottling plants, one in North Carolina and another in Louisiana, completely shut down because Bud Light was their big customer and they no longer have that customer because the sales are not there and they know the sales are not coming back anytime soon. Cheaper to just shut down the entire businesses. This ad, titled Backyard Grunts with Travis Kelce, is being labeled as another desperate effort to regain support and has faced criticism online, with the majority of comments claiming the brand is attempting to save face once again. Which, of course, they're right. They're not just trying to sell the beer, they're trying to get people comfortable with and relating to their product again. It's not working. They rebranded the beer as the Dylan Mulvaney transgender beer. If you like to jump into a bathtub with Dylan Mulvaney, this beer is for you. If not, it's not for you anymore. The new advertisement appears to be an attempt to claw back male drinkers turned off by its recent marketing choices. Kelce is pictured attending a barbecue with several other men, satirically grunting as they slowly recline in their seats and crack open a beer. Quote, I don't understand how this appeals to Bud Light's target market, transgender youth. One viewer commented on the YouTube video. Very clever. In another tweet, I'm actually embarrassed for Bud Light at this point. It's obvious they don't have the sense to be embarrassed themselves. This has become a complete joke. Just take it off the shelf already. We're not coming back. The problem with just taking Bud Light off the shelf, which is slowly but surely happening, next month or in September, there's going to be a reckoning for them. That is when retailers sit down, look at the last sales period, and adjust down and up their shelf space according to what sold well and sold poorly in that last period. There's no way to buy store owners out of that. They only make money when they're actually selling product and then resupplying product and reselling product off their shelves. I know this, you know this, and Anson Frerichs has confirmed this for us, explaining that yes, by September, it's a done deal. By the end of summer, the numbers are in. By September is where the shelf space allocations get redone. From another person, never will I ever buy a Budweiser Busch product again, ever. You could look at the comments in my videos. It's one person after another person after another person. People are furious. And it's not just about Bud Light. It's about the whole woke, progressive, communist, Marxist agenda. It's just with Bud Light, it was one step too far finally, and people shut it down. Target probably would never have happened so bad if Bud Light hadn't happened first. It's an absolute firestorm. Quote, "Man, Bud Light is going for the death blow at this point," one commenter wrote. "This is what they really think of their client base. Stupid grunting cavemen." Quote, "Sorry there, Bud. The only thing that would be close to bringing your base customers back is an unconditional apology and a renouncement of woke culture," said one viewer. Kelce's appearance in the advertisement was also met with backlash, with one commenter slamming him for being a sellout. Quote, "Not rooting for Kelce again," they said. "We'll never buy another Anheuser-Busch product ever again." In April, transgender activist and influencer and actress and comedian and God knows whatever else Dylan Mulvaney wants to be called next, was announced as a spokesperson for Bud Light to promote the March Madness basketball tournament. However, this decision has sparked a boycott that has lasted for months. Another good one. Even in the commercial, people don't want to drink Bud Light. Mulvaney proudly displayed Bud Light cans sent by Anheuser-Busch, which featured Mulvaney's face, and that was actually on one can, as a celebration of a milestone in Mulvaney's popular 365 Days of Girlhood TikTok series, where Mulvaney documented daily experiences as a transgender person during their first year of identifying differently. Bud Light has endured months of backlash and a financially devastating boycott ever since it launched a collaboration with Mulvaney. The brand has lost more than $27 billion of value in its stock price at this point. It started at $132 billion on April 1st. It's now under $100 billion. It's anywhere between $97 and $99 billion. On any given day, you can figure out it's more than $30 billion. In actual sales, we don't know exactly how much sales. We don't know exactly how much sales have gone down. We don't know exactly how much expired beer they've had to buy back. We don't know how much money they're spending on this advertising. We also don't know how much money has been paid to distributors as they promised they would to help distributors deal with the loss of sales and cost of driving back expired beer to be destroyed to their warehouses. It's going to be in the millions, but the value of the Bud Light brand being lost. The Bud Light brand represented, according to Anson Fredericks, 40% of the value of the $52 billion Anheuser-Busch acquisition, which is to say that Bud Light you could ascribe roughly a value of $20 billion to, by my understanding of Anson's math. That value is not the way it used to be. At best, it's going to be half that value. That's just my rough estimate. Bud Light is now selling for less than water in some places, following weeks of declining sales after the brand's disastrous partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. America's former #1 selling beer is now down almost 50% from its sales numbers a year ago. Now, that's a citation out of a Pennsylvania article that came out recently where it was down 45% in one store in Pennsylvania, but it is also down 60% in one market in Florida, 50% in another market in New York, 40% in Delaware. Exactly the sales numbers down. We just don't know yet. And it is worse than the 31.3% that we think it's down in those selected markets nationally. We will find these numbers out. It's just going to take a while. In recent months, Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, has been releasing commercials in an attempt to reconnect with its lost consumer base. The promo comes several months after its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, was again accused of overcompensating to the backlash in a separate advertisement. In an overly patriotic ad for Budweiser, the brand released a 1-minute spot showing its iconic Clydesdale horses galloping across the country. A deep-voiced narrator says that Budweiser is a story bigger than beer as the horses race across the screen. This is the story of the American spirit, he added. The ad for the beer, which like Bud Light is owned by Anheuser-Busch, appeared to be a return to traditional values for the brand, which has historically appealed to blue-collar American workers. This is in stark difference to Bud Light's doomed partnership with trans influencer Mulvaney, who has since accused the company of abandoning Mulvaney amid the controversy. Mulvaney complains that no one called Mulvaney to see how Mulvaney was doing, but in the meantime, the people that hired Mulvaney were forced out of the company, so they actually couldn't call Mulvaney. I'm not making any excuses. I'm just saying it's ridiculous to say, what about me? What about poor narcissistic Dylan Mulvaney, well, you actually got a lot of people fired and created billions of dollars worth of losses. Stop complaining. Start apologizing too. This mockery of Bud Light is very likely to continue. I don't see how it could possibly turn around. I do see one idea. They could pick up the phone, call Anson Fredericks, former president of distribution for Anheuser-Busch, who's been speaking out against the company, and asking them to take sensible moves to deal with their problem and talk to their actual customer base. Call Anson and say, hey, how much money do you need? Would you please consult us and tell us what to do? Because he does seem to know, and he actually does know the industry, and he actually knows all of the distributors. Because Anson just left a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. He knows pretty much everyone in the industry. Why would you not have Anson fix this problem? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like my idea of calling Anson Fredericks and just writing the guy as big a check as he wants and asking him to fix the situation? Or do you have another idea? What else could they do? I'd like to see them just discontinue the brand altogether. But if they want to be serious business people, just call Anson Fredericks already. Let me know what you think. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.